I'm watching a video of someone making minced meat, and they had this hack where you put a paper towel inside the minced meat after it's done boiling to be able to get the fat out of the meat. I thought this was a very, very handy hack. I didn't know that, so I am definitely going to try this the next time I make minced meat. So today, guys, I am going to be cleaning. It's an evening, and I'm just doing normal mommy house chores in the evening. It has been a lazy day, and I've just been resting and relaxing. During the day, I just slept because I came from night shift. So, yeah, it's just been a relaxing day. So, anyway, as I am cleaning the house and doing my evening routine and just getting dinner ready and getting the house in order, I wanted to share or answer a common question that I have been getting ever since I started sharing about our relocation journey. And that is a few things to consider for a smooth transition when relocating with your family. I got a question about relocating with children, like, is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? And what are some of the tips that I could share? And how easy it was for the children to make the adjustment. So, in this video, as I am doing my thing, I am going to be sharing a bit of our experience and a few things that I think you can consider in order for you and your family to have a smooth transition when relocating. So, I hope that you'll find the information I share helpful in your journey. And yeah, just take what you can from the things that I am going to share. So the first thing is preparing to move. So for us, we chose not to tell the kids about our plans because we didn't want them to get overexcited prematurely. You know how kids, when you tell them something, they're just all the time. Even when you just tell them, today we are going to the stores or today we are going to the playground, it will just be like, what time are we leaving? What time are we going? When are we going? Can we leave now? Yeah, we didn't want that. So we sort of delayed in telling them about our plans because we also did not want them announcing to everyone before we knew the way forward. We really did not want to put ourselves in a situation where we had to give unnecessary explanations, yet this was something that was going to take time to materialize. So, about a month to us traveling is when we finally told them and allowed them to share. And they even had farewell parties in their classes with their friends and their teachers, which was pretty nice. And yeah, so because you know your children best, it's up to you to choose when you want to let the cat out of the bag. For me, I know my kids cannot keep quiet, so I chose to play safe. The second thing that I would advise is discussing the move with your children. And so after you have finalized everything, like you're in the last stages of you planning your trip and you're ready to actually travel, then explain to them the changes, the environment, the schools, the friends, the people, and just how things are going to be different. Just explain to them the reason why you're also choosing to move or relocate. Sometimes we think that children don't understand things, but they are very smart human beings who also have feelings and emotions, and it's very important to involve them in such major decisions that are also going to affect their lives because they have emotions and they also have the anxiety that comes with everything, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to see my friends again, or my school is going to be different. Like now they start imagining the changes that are going to happen, and yeah, it just makes them anxious. So just involve them, talk to them, and just discuss everything with them. I found discussing with them reduced their levels of apprehension and made them look forward to the positive changes. So especially if you have children who like asking why, you tell them anything and their first reaction is why, you definitely need to have a conversation with them, because this generation that we are raising is a very savvy generation in all aspects, and they just don't do things just because they've been told to. You have to give them the explanation why, and sometimes it can get really frustrating because you just want to do things, as a parent you're just like, yeah, I know what is best for you, but at the same time it's also affecting their life, especially if the kids are at an age of understanding. Like if you have teenagers or even preteens, you have to talk to them so that you also avoid having dramas. Something else that you can do with the children to make the transition smooth is decluttering their things. I did a lot of decluttering in the months towards our travel, and I had them choose what they wanted to keep, what they wanted to give away, and what they wanted to get rid of. And this made them very excited because it involved them in the decision making, quote unquote, because they got to make decisions on what they were going to keep. Then, for the fun of it, you can start a countdown. So, of course, by this time, their excitement is off the roof. So, we started ours a month before traveling. We were set to travel in December. So, around November, I stopped working, and that's when I started packing for our first move because we were moving from Nairobi to Shags. And let me tell you guys, packing your life is one of the hardest things that I had to do. And I mean, I've done it before, like, but at that time we were kids. I mean, my mom was doing everything, so I didn't need to handle, I didn't have to go through it. But now the tables turned and I had to do it for my family. And hey, it was a lot. That is just a topic for another day because packing your life is hard because you never know what to keep and what to detach from. But that's a topic for another day because I'm even getting stressed thinking about it. Anyway, so at that time, the kids were also closing school at the end of November. So we had given the school notice, we had given our apartment notice because we knew that in December we weren't going to be paying rent because we wouldn't be there. So November was our crazy month. I involved the children in packing, and when they closed school, hey, we had a lot of nights just putting stuff together and yeah, looking forward to the next few weeks. So the end of November, we moved to Shags for 2 weeks, and then we were hosted by a relative for our last weekend in Nairobi. And yeah, that was the end of that chapter. So with this scenario, you can see how much movement there is and the number of times you all need to make adjustments. So you honestly have to be there for each other as a family because most of the time you will be leaving your comfort zones, and as you settle, it's going to take a toll on you. But the good thing with children is that they adapt and adjust to different environments very quickly. Us guys, when we traveled, it was snowing and our flight was about 25 hours long. So we left Nairobi at midnight, arrived Paris the next day in the morning, and the weather there was -3 degrees. I have never felt such cold. Then we laid over for about 6 hours, and then our final flight was about 12 hours. We were all so tired and our bodies were so confused because when we arrived here on a Tuesday night, but it was already Wednesday morning in Nairobi. So our bodies wanted to stay awake when it was time to sleep and sleep when it was time to stay awake. The first week was such a struggle. We were just dealing with our jet lag and we just spent it trying to reset our bodies. But the kids adjusted faster than us. I think our jet lag lasted maybe about 2 to 3 weeks. And hey, the weather, way nobody prepares you for this extreme cold, and we froze. Hey, we really felt it, and it was only in the second year that we got used to the cold because we knew what to look forward to. So it wasn't as bad as the first time we experienced it. The way we would dress up with so many layers just to make sure we kept warm, but we were still freezing. Hey, yeah, but so carry warm clothes as much as you can, especially if you're going to a cold state or a cold area. Yeah, just carry as many warm clothes as you can. Of course, this will depend on the time of year that you're traveling. So, yeah, not every place experiences the extreme weathers. But all this to say that children adjust very easily to different changes. It's not as hard for them as it is for adults, I think. But another thing that I believe will be helpful in making your transition smooth is familiarizing yourself with the place that you will be moving to. There are so many videos on YouTube about almost every part of the world. So take time and watch the videos just so that you can try and envision yourself and just see what the area is like. As guys, we were obsessed with watching videos about the US, like driving, shopping, restaurants, places to visit, housing, and all that. We would watch a lot of um, vloggers, family vlogs. And I think that helped us when we arrived, because whenever we saw something, we felt like we had been there already. So, like our first time to step into Walmart, we were just like, oh, so this is not the famous Walmart. And the same thing happened when we had like our first McDonald's meal. It was just like, so this is it. This is what it is. And it felt surreal, but real at the same time. So, this is a helpful tip that may help you before you set foot into your new location. Familiarize yourself with where you're going. And that is the power of internet. You have access to a lot of information. With regards to kids joining school, again, the kids adjusted pretty well. We have so far been to three schools because we moved, and I also shared on one of my videos, the one on enrolling kids to school, um, that kids attend the nearest school to where you're living. So the first school we enrolled them into, we were very, very thankful that everyone was patient with us, and the kids as well. So everyone just knew that we were new, because you couldn't pretend you're not new, because our accent just gave us away. Everyone was just like, oh, where are you from? Did you just come? Because you just look new. You know how a new person looks. You just look new. But everyone was really nice in ensuring that we were comfortable, that the kids were comfortable. The teachers also made time to meet with us and ask us about the kids and anything like we needed help with. So I really appreciated this. And even in the next schools that the kids went to, we have not had any problems whatsoever with the kids having, like, with the kids adjusting or being around other children. They've made friends so fast, and we were very amazed. So that's why I'm saying for kids, it is very easy for them to adjust. So as long as you're there to support the kids, everything is going to be okay. One thing that I would want to emphasize, and I think I've mentioned it in some of my videos, is to ensure that you're up to date with your kids' vaccinations. Here, they're very big on kids' vaccinations. And even if you enroll your kids to school without the necessary vaccinations, they are always going to send you reminders. Your kid is not um, up to date with their vaccinations. Please get their vaccines. If you need help, let us know. But and vaccinations are free. You're not going to be paying anything. You just walk into the healthcare or a hospital, any healthcare or any hospital, and the kids are going to be vaccinated. So remember to stay compliant with the vaccination requirements. All we needed to do was provide their vaccinations from Kenya, and then they updated them in their system, and then they could tell us which vaccinations they needed. So us guys had missed a lot of vaccinations, because back home you just give your kids vaccines until they're about 9 months, and then after that it's not really a big deal, especially for the boosters. But even here, the boosters are also a big deal. So you can't skip or miss or just decide, oh, okay, I don't want this one. But they have vaccinations which are necessary for school and others which are not necessary for school. So for us, we just do the ones that are a must or are as a requirement for school. And then the others, we just say we'll decide with time. So you have to stay compliant and just ensure that you are up to date. And the last tip that I would give or I would share when relocating with kids, have it in mind that raising kids outside Africa is very different, and you have to support each other, especially if you're a couple. You have to support each other. If you're a single parent, then you need to have a circle that can support you. You need to work as a team, and remember, you're not in competition with yourselves or any other person. Otherwise, this is one of the things that causes a lot of frictions in marriages and relationships here, because everyone's expectations is that you will help each other. But the African mentality is men typically don't get into the kitchen. And I mean, that is a very like traditional way of thinking. For me, I've not had a problem, because I think times just changed, and I don't know, but I know that there are men who believe and like are really strong on the men don't do housework, and housework is for women, children are for the women. But hey, America will teach you things. You as the man, you will have to do housework, you will have to take care of the children, because here it's not the way like like back home, how if you're in an apartment, you just leave your kids out there to just go and play, and you just assume that the neighbors are going to tell you if something goes wrong or if something happens, or other children, like they take care of each other. Here, I think like the culture is more individualistic, like everyone just looks out for themselves. So if your kid is out there just playing on their own, I I think the possibility of you being called is very low, but the possibility of the cops being called and being told, hey, there is a kid playing out there on their own, is higher than you being called as the parent. So you just have to be very, very careful. It's not it's not the same. It's not the same as back home. You look out for yourself, you look out for your children. Nobody is going to look out for you. And the communities are not, unless you get like a gated community, most places, most apartments are just open house. Like there are no like fences or gates. It's just open. So anyone can just come in. Like the security is secure. It is a secure place per se, but things go wrong, so you just need to be careful. Don't leave your kids anyhow. If that is what I can say. Even like the way we used to send kids to a shop, you're just like, okay, run over there and get for me something from Mama Mboga, or go there and get. Here you cannot send a kid to the stores alone. You have to be there with the child always. And that is why when people when it's a couple, it's easy because you're going to be able to help each other. When one person is working, one person is at home with the children. When the other person is not working, the other person, you just interchange the roles. So those are some of the things that you just need to pack and leave them in an airport somewhere. You will go back for them when you go back. But when you come here, your mentality just really, really has to change. And you just have to work together and help each other. There is no prioritizing. It is it is us against the world. Maybe someone else can share their experience, but for me, this is what I've honestly experienced. It is just you guys, your children, your work, you help each other, and you just support yourselves. But I can tell you for sure, like where we're living, I have barely seen my neighbors, and it's just a thing. By the You might not even in Kenya, you would see people, you would interact with people, but uku, first of all, you give each other side eye, and then you will decide if you will approach each other. You approach with caution. But yeah, maybe other people can share their experiences and let me know what they've experienced. But for us, this is just uh what what has what our experience has been. So anyway, I guess you just choose what works for you and your family. For me, my family is a family of six, so of course what works for me is not what is going to work for someone with one child or no child or two children. It just depends on your unique family. Like every family is unique, every life is unique, every experience is different. So what I experience is not necessarily what you're going to experience. So as we just share our experience, you take what you may. Whatever is going to help you helps you, and then the rest you just leave it and let it go, just let it pass. So always remember everyone's situation is different, so just take whatever works for you. And yeah, always remind yourself that God is the center of it all. Always make God the center of everything. And He is with you. He will protect you. He will walk with you every step of the way through the good times and the bad times. Sometimes I remember the things that we went through as newcomers. And honestly speaking, ni God. It's only by God's grace and God's power that we pulled through and made it through this far. And we are at a point where we can now share maybe our experiences and just help each other. Of course, we are not perfect. We are not here like Ati with 10 years of experience. We are still very new, but I think we can still share what we have experienced, and maybe not it will help somebody, but it also gives us like a place of memorabilia to know where we have come from. So even if we just help one person or not, we also still have helped ourselves. And us guys can see the growth that we have experienced and just God's grace that has been with us throughout the time that we have been here. And I can't shy away from sharing that because I know that somebody else is going to go through it, and people shy away from sharing, but maybe yangu inakuanga, I experience something, I share, maybe it will help someone. Even if it is one person, it can make a difference in somebody's life. So we came out strong, and here we are sharing our small experiences, our humble experiences. As guys, we are not very complicated, we are very simple people. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful and informative. And I guess if you have any questions or comments, just let me know in the comment section. And as usual, I am going to try my best to respond and engage with you guys. Of course, some things I don't openly share, just because I want to just protect some privacy and just have some privacy. But whatever I can share, I will share, and whatever help I can give, I can give. Yeah. So now I am done cooking. My meal is ready. We're going to be having tacos tonight because Mama was a bit lazy, and we just have those nights where you just want to make a simple meal. So I just made some minced meat, and we're going to have this with tacos, and that will be it for my evening. I hope that whatever I have shared is honestly helpful. And that I hope that our videos are also helpful and encouraging. So as guys are going to sit and enjoy this meal, and then I'm going to finish cleaning up the kitchen. Today is one of those days that I don't want to leave dishes in the sink. So I'm going to wash the dishes, and then we'll sit down and have dinner. So final thing, if you're relocating with children, take care of your mental health first. Before anything else, take care of you. Then you can be able to take care of the people around you and the kids, and you'll just have a smoother time if you take care of yourself. So, thank you for watching, and thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think, and let me know if this has been helpful information. Until next time, keep positive, keep blessed, and don't forget to take care of yourself. We'll see you guys in the next video. Barakatele.